there's no release date yet, so we can't. Right now they're focused on getting a good script. That's because folks, I mean, let's face it, we've all sat through bad movies, bad storylines, we have great special effects. Warner's understands, you know what, folks? You have to have a good story first.
I mean, there's examples of that. Like there was the two Anne Rice films. The first one, Interview with the Vampire. They had a good script, and they had a good cast put together, and they got it to screen, and great film, right? Next film after that, Queen of the Damned. Their contract was running out of time, and so they didn't have time to put together a good script. They didn't have time to put together a good cast. And so what happened was, well, let's just put something out before the option on this expires, right? And then Queen of the Damned came out. You know, lo and behold, it wasn't as good a film as the previous Anne Rice film. And that also happened with Fantastic Four. Okay, that's not even a sequel. You know, that's, I mean, they just released whatever just so they could get it out, and you know, and now fans are considering that like the Star Wars Christmas special of the Marvel Universe. You know.
Actually, this gentleman in the Macross had a question.
I did. When I was a kid, I got a Johnny Battle Pod, but it was an Exo Squad toy. How did that come about?
Oh yeah, that was pretty straightforward. Exo Squad was a popular series in the early 90s, but their toy product line, this was Playmates, their toy product line wasn't big enough for their Christmas season. They wanted more toys to release during holiday season. And so simply they just said, oh, well, Robotech fits in with our theme pretty well. You know, it's more robotic toys. And if we kind of sell it as an extension to the Exo Squad brand. So you notice it's co-branded, you know, it's Exo Squad, Robotech. And so it was just to move more units. That's what it simply came down to.
Sir.
This is a question to both of you. What is your favorite, like, mech design in Robotech piece? Like, what's like, if you had a name, like, that's my favorite design.
Oh, first Tommy, or you? All right, you think I'll stall. I would say my favorite mech design would have to be, believe it or not, how can I describe it? It's the ship. I know it's gonna sound really odd, but it's the ship John Carpenter came back in the episode The Outsiders. Always loved the elegant, classy design of that ship. No, I'm serious. That ship, you look at that ship looks, it's ready to kick some major ass there. You know, I mean, I've always liked that ship. I've always thought that was one of the, I have a tendency, just so you know, I have a tendency to gravitate towards more things that people aren't usually talking about. That's one thing that always stuck out with me, the Tokugawa class ships that I really always enjoyed in the show, that I really thought had such great, elegant design. Because there been a lot of ships recently in science fiction. They're very busy and kind of, you know what I'm talking about too. Yeah, exactly. They're like this claw coming at you or something. Like, this is not like the Romulan ship in the Star Trek movie. I'm like, no Romulan, the Tal Shiar would have shot those guys who designed that ship. I'm serious. I always like the Tokugawa to this great, elegant design. It looks very functional. It looks like a badass ship, but it's got a nice, sleek design to it. It looks like a ship that would be in space. So that's why I like that. So my odd answer, I'm sure everyone will be enraged after Twitter's already letting it right now.
I did not know this.
What was the question?
Favorite mech design? When we had the Tokugawa come back as a ship in the New Generation universe, we had it come back in mostly the original shape, except we had it repainted to meet the theme of the New Generation. You know, it had the same numbering schemes, markings, and all that. And I remember that the reaction was split from the Southern Cross fans. One was, oh my goodness, you threw us a bone. Thank you so very much. They were so grateful. And then half of them were, oh, so you couldn't make it work unless you tied it into the New Generation. You suck. So, so I don't know. You know, an interesting thing about those guys is they're the Southern Cross fans. Maybe it's because they've had the fewest toys and merchandise released. They seem to be the most. What's
I want
it
my
called?
hover tank.
I guess they're the most
Exactly.
expensive.
Want two hover tanks.
expensive.
I want my hover tank.
See, there we go.
Matchbox.
And Ajax. Oh, I had that, but sold it, unfortunately.
All right. Sir, you had your hand up.
Oh, actually, I didn't answer.
Oh,
this.
go ahead. I'm sorry about
I
that.
had to think about it. It's the garland from Robotech movie.
Ah, okay, thanks. Oh, right.
Just a question on the comics.
Yeah.
I know you said it's coming out in 2011, but the U.S. is going to be canceled.
Yeah.
Is there any way we're going to have any access to get that, or are you going to update it on the website? For the...
I don't know. I'm imagining that some gray market units from China will probably make its way through the U.S. And since it's a sub-license from DC Comics, and DC Comics has the U.S. rights, I don't think there's going to be any big deal, like what happened with the gray market Macross toys. I don't think there's going to be a big deal if any of those gray market units come to the U.S. It's like no big deal, whatever. It's all part of the Robotech license. So I think it's going to happen because that happened also when we had the 25th anniversary Chinese box sets of Robotech. I don't know if you saw them. A lot of those were being gray marketed back in the U.S., but it was kind of like we can't support it because we support our individual licensees for each one of their territories, but it's inevitable that some fans are going to want those.
Sir.
With all the different projects you guys are doing right now or contemplating, what's the biggest division or revenue carrying part of Robotech right now? It's still the old stuff?
It's cyclical. When our video games came out, they were by far and away our biggest revenue leader. And then during the gaps between video games, they were our toys. And then when we have our video releases, well, so what will happen is every year you will look at our pie from where our revenue is coming in, and depending on it'll switch all over the place.
Do you anticipate anything coming up?
Oh yeah, home video. Our home video is releases are probably going to be over the course of the next year.
Okay, sir.
Have you played the Robotech Crystal Dreams on the N64 they got canceled?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's only a fragment of the game. It's not a finished game.
Was it ever finished?
Oh no, it wasn't finished. The engine works. It loads. You can play a little bit of it, but you're not missing much because if you played Robotech Battle Cry, that's a much more polished engine on a much more powerful platform. So if you got Battle Cry, except for being able to, it's kind of like going from Ultima 6 to Ultima, well, actually, okay, not counting Ultima 2 because that's actually a good. Going back to Ultima 1,
Yeah. They just so you know, the game company went bankrupt before the game was completed.
I know what happened.
Yeah.
That was like one of the reasons why I got an N64 and then it didn't come out.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we heard a lot about that. People buying.
I even cut out the clip from my Game Fan magazine and just like put it on the wall.
Yeah, but that
You know,
was
like, welcome
that was also way back. That was way
Oh,
back
man.
then. Nowadays, so many games get canceled. It's like
Wheel of Fortune and
you hear about fans saying, I'll believe it when I see it.
Vaporware.
Next question. Anyone? Bueller?
Memo got one. Memo.
Nemo.
I was asking, what do you call it, other than Southern Cross toys that they're not making? This new animation, is it possible they're going to make new toys? I saw the Garfish and the other mecha. I don't even know, hardcore guys, what that other mecha was. But any toys coming out from that as well, or?
We're working with George on new toys. Right now, okay, the new toys that he'd like everyone to pay attention to are the Macross the movie toys coming out this year. And he's got some other new generation stuff that he wants to work on after that.
1/100?
Actually.
Huh?
1/100?
1/100? No, I don't think 1/100. I don't know. He is working on some new generation stuff, but scale is yet to be determined.
Be time for 2 more questions. We'll wrap it up. There's still stuff in the mystery box, guys.
I wanted one of my second question. I got one.
Good stuff. Stuff you want. Sir, in the
Would you
lecture.
ever consider Jedi to create the video game when it time comes?
You know, George has relationships with everyone in the industry. He talks with folks over at Bandai. He talks with different folks for different opportunities that come and go. So we've definitely got all our options open, but nothing to announce at the moment.
You know, that's a good question. So you get Valkyrie. All right, sir.
So, what is the kind of relationship between Harmony Gold and the Robotech license with the Japanese license holders of the Macross toys? Because recently they released like this giant SPF one that transforms.
Right.
So I was wondering any version something like that might be coming stateside.
Right now we don't have any relationship with the actual licensor in Japan of these different Macross spin-offs. Our licensor in Japan is actually Tatsunoko Productions, who has licensed to us the original Robotech series, and the various incarnations that allowed us to also create other versions like Shadow Chronicles and so on. In terms of the licensing for that, that's something that we're always open. We haven't. We're open to licensing that in the United States. It's just that at present there's no agreement in place for that to happen. So we'll cross that bridge when it happens.
All right, one more question. We'll wrap it up. Yeah.
Okay, what console will the video game come out on? Will it come to like to the console?
The thing is, there's no video game title announced, and right now the option to develop those video games is tied to the live action film, and Warner Brothers has not selected a publisher. So really, I mean, it's kind of like the release date question for the movie. Is we're a little far away from that.
All right. Folks, thank you so very much for coming. We have our War Story Information panel today at 4 o'clock. And of course, the Robotech